But Nico was a forgiver, so I can be too. What? Your 18-year-old geriatric chihuahua with kidney failure was a forgiver? What does that mean, Mary? Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second part of my Selling Sunset Season 8 review that none of you asked for because barely any of you watched the first part. But guess what? You're getting it. Here's the thing. This season was not great. I gotta be honest, I actually think it was arguably the worst season we've had yet of Selling Sunset. It's just so many storylines that went nowhere and just sort of dropped off. The cast felt forced and weird. And this second half, instead of going episode by episode, I'm going to go character by character because, to be honest, only 3 storylines basically for the last 6 episodes happened. So there's no point of going episode by episode. I got to start with the new girl, Alana. She shouldn't be asked back. Beautiful. Gorgeous girl that the twins clearly want to fuck. She brought absolutely nothing to the season other than Pioneer Town, which was weird and just a waste of time. Was involved in no drama. Half the time, anytime she would pop up on screen, I'd be like, oh, I forgot you were there. I'm out on Alana. The other new girl, the racist girl, who I won't say her name, I don't want her back. She's racist. It also ended weirdly with Bree trying to get her hired, but the twins weren't there, so they just showed up to the office and sat there. We don't want her. Don't bring her back. Manza, the style this second half didn't get better. In fact, I think it got worse. This one confessional look, her main storyline is now she's an artist. And I gotta give it to her. Her art is actually pretty good. And she's now struggling with, should she continue doing real estate, something she has made absolutely no money in, even though she's on a real estate reality show, or take a step back from real estate, which I don't know how much further back she could get from it, and just do art. And it's like, girl, no one is putting a gun to your head and making you do real estate. No one. No one wants you to. You don't even want to. The only reason you're doing it is because you probably need the paycheck from the show. They shouldn't ask her back either. The one listing she did have, she lost after a week. While I love to see the heinous fashion choices, she's got to go. She's got to go. And I love at one point she goes, maybe it's just something I do because I can do. Can you do it? I don't think you can. We have to talk about Mary and Jason this second half, and we have to talk about the dog funeral. Now, before you all cancel me, I might not be a pet person, I might not be an animal person. I can acknowledge it is a loss, and it is very sad for people. I get that. This was weird. This was weird, and you know it. Literally this whole second half for Mary and Jason, their only storylines are basically revolved around this dog. There's a scene where Jason tells Mary, the doctor says Nico, the chihuahua, only has days left to live, in which they both burst into tears. But they have so much Botox, it just kind of looks like they're laughing. And Mary goes, there's gotta be something they can do to give us more time. There's gotta be something they can do. And then immediately after goes, Nico is very much part of me. I've had him for the last 18 years. There's gotta be something for them to do to extend his time. What? At this point, it's just turning him into a vampire to live longer. 18? I think he's probably been dead for the last 6, and you've just been carrying around a taxidermy dog. What are you talking about, Mary? I understand it's sad, but 18 years for a chihuahua? You're lucky you got that much time. Nico dies. Sad. They host a catered funeral, catered by McDonald's because it was Nico's favorite meal. Jason for therapy purposes, bought a $1 million car to help heal himself from the loss. And then they proceed to show us the matching tattoos they got in his honor, in which they infused the ashes of his body into the ink. My other favorite part was the girls fought at the dog funeral. And in a scene later, Mary was like, I thought it was really inappropriate that they were fighting at the funeral, but Nico was a forgiver, so I can be too. What? Your 18-year-old geriatric chihuahua with kidney failure was a forgiver? What does that mean, Mary? Again, I know it's sad, but we've got to come back to reality. You had him for 18 years. We got to talk about Nicole. Again, I'm not a fan. The fashion's weird. You also can tell she got work done maybe midway through the season, and her one confessional look, she doesn't even look like herself, which is fine. You can do whatever work you want. It's just something's never quite right aesthetically with her. Her big issue, and this is where, the cast feels divided. Basically, no one will film with her besides Manza, Mary, and Alana, and none of us care about those three. She needs to not be on the show anymore because she's not a good villain and no one will film with her. My issue is you're all on a reality TV show. Drama is expected and required. She, throughout this second half, kept talking about Emma's alleged affair with a married man to everyone but Emma, and then the season ended. She never brought it up to Emma. No one else ever brought it up to Emma. No one brought it back up to Nicole. It was never talked about. It was never confronted. She just told Bree randomly. She told Alana and all the girls in Pioneer Town, and that's it. And then now in social media, after the fact, is when they're hashing it out. What? What were the producers thinking? Get them in a room and confront each other. This is reality TV 101. This is Housewives 101. Get them in a room. But the problem is they probably couldn't get them in a room because I'm sure Emma refuses to film with her. So then what's the point? We've got to talk about the rest, Chelsea, Chrishell, and Emma, and Bree, and everything that sort of happens with that. It's basically the only storyline for the last half. Literally, it's basically the only storyline. And just like everything else, we don't get a resolution. In fact, it just doesn't make sense at all. Chelsea finds out her husband and father of her 2 children is cheating on her. And she is mad at Bree for telling her. And then gets mad at Chrishell and Emma for listening to Bree. None of it was making sense. I gotta be honest. I was so annoyed. I think we're losing sight of the plot. Maybe we should direct that anger towards your cheating husband, who looks sort of like an off-brand Dr. Doom. Why are we mad at Bree? I'm on Bree's side in this. She was given information, and then she came to you directly. She didn't spread it around. She literally came to you directly. But they're all mad that she took it to camera. You're on a reality show. Of course it was brought to camera. You don't sign up for a reality show to have everything happen off camera. Did they forget they were on a reality show? And Chrishell, who again is not my favorite, but at least I stand by her decision. She's like, I'm not choosing sides here. I understand where Bree is coming from. I guess I understand where Chelsea is coming from, even though Chelsea's completely in the wrong here. And I know she's probably emotional and irrational right now, but like, girl, how about you confront your husband? Which we also never find out if she did. She kept alluding that she hasn't even talked to her husband about it. But the season ends. It was the worst season finale of all the seasons. It ends with her seeing a house that she's like, I think this would be a new chapter for me. A $4 million house, and she hasn't even confronted her husband yet. Emma, who is the biggest wet noodle, I don't want her back. I didn't even want her on the show. Is never has any of her own drama. She includes herself in things that doesn't involve her. And Chrishell and her included herself in the situation that didn't involve them in any way, shape, or form. And I'm almost like, well, I'm Team Chelsea because I can't imagine someone doing what Brie did. You can't imagine someone on a reality show finding out information on camera on a reality show. Do they think that the cameras aren't plugged into anything? Brie at the end, who rightfully was mad at everyone, was talking about how, like, of course he cheated because Chelsea was never home, and if you don't take care of your man, he's gonna cheat on you, which I don't agree with. I don't know if she actually meant it or if she was just saying it in spite because all these women are acting absolutely crazy. I obviously don't agree with that. You shouldn't have to cater every waking second to your man for him not to cheat on you. What a shit season. You all should watch, form your own opinions, or don't and just listen to my opinion because it is very accurate and right. So thank you for watching. We are very close to my year anniversary on YouTube. My goal was to hit 50,000 subscribers, which obviously didn't happen, but there's still time. So please like, comment, please subscribe, and until next time.